Let's review the blood pressure analysis functions on the CB series software. Choosing our patient first under the patient tab. We go this time to the Analyze tab on the topmost menu, and here's where you also find pacemaker analysis, heart rate variability, QTC, signal average ECG, T-wave alternans, heart rate turbulence, atrial fibrillation analysis, and blood pressure analysis. There's 6 tabs to work with. Up top on the left, summary, trend, statistics, wave, blood pressure, value, and prints. And this main page is really a summary where you can see and update patient's information as needed. And here we have a delineation of the different blood pressure values taken and what time they were taken. There are quite a few different mathematical or arithmetic measurements that go into greater detail in the manual. But here you can see a listing of different blood pressures measured during the study. On the Trend tab up top, we can see here graphing of pressure. This would be pressure systolic, so systolic pressure, the mean pressure, diastolic pressure, and in red here the pulse rate. And you can see these trends all compared to one another. On the side here you can see that this is looking at the hourly trends, and on the bottom here the heart load, which would be equivalent to double product systolic blood pressure times heart rate. There's different views of the data you can look at. Under statistics, we could see there are pie charts and histograms corresponding to the different parameters that are established for normal blood pressures, systolic and diastolic, during the day, during the nighttime hours, the whole day. And these numbers can be changed. Simply click in the input value, and let's say we put in 130. And we can see how the pie chart is changed for that adjustment. And these will change the summary values as well. Histograms are shown on the right side. The wave function has a comprehensive listing of blood pressure values, where we can see systolic, mean, diastolic, pulse rate, and then the pulse pressure. The difference between the systolic and diastolic blood pressures. High values colored in red, yellow, red for high systolic pressures. Yellow for diastolic pressures. Clicking on any of the values over on this side will show the corresponding waveform. You can see as I jump around, you can see how this is the actual pressure wave as measured by the blood pressure cuff system. You can see the quality of the different traces. The 3 lines on there on the wave here correspond to the mean pressure to the peak systolic and the diastolic values. These can be changed, which will alter the blood pressure values, but generally the mean is usually going to be placed on the highest corresponding oscillation. On the bottom of good use is to be able to check the pulse wave and ECG wave data together. Here's where the technician or the clinician can actually see changes in the blood pressure as corresponds to the heart rate. Values or waveforms can be flagged for printing later. Notations can be made. You can see here's my note I just put in there. You can scroll up and see if there's a high heart rate, like here 112. You can see what was going on with the ECG and how that affected the patient's blood pressure. Here we can see that the patient was hypertensive at the time. Data can also be exported from this function. We can recalculate all blood pressures. If the mean pressure line is moved, we can recalculate all blood pressure values. This enables the clinician to be able to determine if a blood pressure value may have been good, depending on the quality of the waveform. If there's a lot of artifact or noise, that value could be discounted. Under the blood pressure variability page, you can see again summarization of pressure systolic, diastolic, and here we have a difference between previous. This indicates there's a 4-point difference between the previous systolic and the current one. Difference of 4 points in the previous diastolic to the current one. The time difference. And in red, significant changes in that. There are also more advanced statistical analysis that the system accounts for. Looking at Poincare plots, regression lines, and correlational coefficients. These can be evaluated more, so please refer to the operations manual for these functions. Print functions, compared to the normal printing reports that you can print on the tab here, under the blood pressure section, we can also print out the summary, just blood pressure, just ECG, or both combined. Just a list of the blood pressure readings, the trends, the pie charts, waves. So all these reports are available. Simply select them. And on the right hand side, we could just print straight from here, print setup to choose your printer, or print preview to allow the software to generate what we're going to be seeing. And then from here we have the same options as before, where the This can be exported to a computer or a server or network. We can send an email using your email client or print.